All right, so this is a question that I've received actually lots of different methods. People have been asking me about this on Twitter and Facebook and emails and even the Q&A forum. So there's ever since I brought on the Black Car guy. So if you guys haven't checked out that post, I definitely recommend it. He did a nice post for me when he talked about how he used to be a taxi cab driver, and then he had his best month ever in October and made $10,000 as an Uber black car and SUV driver. So it's a cool post, and I've gotten a lot of questions about drivers looking into commercial insurance. I've even done a couple coaching sessions. If you guys are interested in that, I do offer one-on-one coaching sessions, quick pitch. But so a lot of these people, they're asking me about commercial insurance. What's the best way to get started with commercial insurance, or just looking for it? Because obviously if you want to step your game up, if you're considering doing it full time, or you're kind of not liking the saturation of drivers out there, the amount of drivers out there on UberX, and you want to look into going to UberBLACK or UberSUV. Now, obviously, it's closed in a lot of markets or certain markets, but it does open up from time to time, and there are services out there who allow you to, come on with commercial insurance, and especially if you want to start building your own network of passengers, which is definitely something I recommend. If you have commercial insurance, now you can basically have your own little rideshare business if you have the clientele. So, I want to talk a little bit about how do you get that commercial insurance. So the first thing you want to look for is you can start with the big boys, State Farm, Farmers, and you're basically going for that taxi, limousine, rideshare type commercial insurance. They might not have a rideshare designation yet, but you basically want that taxi or limousine type commercial insurance because that's what you're looking for. So start with the big boys, State Farm, Farmers, see if they have an agent who specializes in it, see if they offer it. Now, the thing to consider is it's tough because insurance is state specific. So you might talk to one driver who's able to get commercial insurance in California, but you're in Oregon. Now, you're pretty much shit out of luck because, the policies from state to state insurance-wise are very different. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. You need to look, I'm going to try and give you guys general principles so that you can apply them no matter what state you're in. So start with those big boys, and generally, you may or may not find something. If you do, awesome. I definitely recommend trying to get at least 1 to 3 quotes and, just to compare prices. The estimated costs, you should be looking in the $2,500 to $4,500 range for commercial insurance per year. So that's what you want to be looking for, somewhere in that range. And then obviously it's going to depend on the deductibles and the coverage that you get. But I think where you're really going to have more success in finding commercial insurance is if you find an independent agent who specializes in taxi, limousine, transportation. Those are the agents that have already done it before, and they already are going to know exactly what you need. If you try and go, think about it, if you go to a doctor, right, you don't want to go to a foot doctor for your problem with your heart, right? So same thing with insurance. Obviously, it's not as complex, but it definitely isn't that simple, insurance. So you want to find that right insurance agent who's going to know exactly what you need. So really look for that independent agent, who specializes. I'm going to leave a link to a cool resource I found, a website that might be able to help you get started. I'll leave it in the show notes and right here on the video probably. So I have a couple articles too on the site that the Black Car guy did for me, and then I also brought him onto the podcast too, and we talk a lot about commercial insurance and just becoming more of a professional driver. So if that is something that you're interested in, definitely take a look and you guys can check it out. But so these are kind of all the steps to look into to getting commercial insurance. So hopefully you guys, if you're interested, this video was helpful, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We definitely will have a ton more content and be answering all of your questions on here. All right.